Once a symbol of faith and hope, the former Holy Trinity Church still stands, albeit with a different purpose now. Erected in the 1830s, this structure saw its transformation into a residential complex in 1993. But the church's story isn't just one of architectural evolution, but of a scandal that shook its foundation. Despite the changes, the church holds onto remnants of its past, from the stained glass window dedicated to Mr. and Mrs. Dugdale in 1873 to the peal of 8 bells installed in its 80-feet-high tower in 1889. But it was that same year that the church's tranquility was shattered. Grave robbing, a crime that sends shivers down the spine of every God-fearing citizen. Newspaper headlines shouted out the horrifying act committed at Holy Trinity. Disgraceful desecration of the Burnley graveyard. All fingers pointed at one man, William Henry Boardman. Aged 31, Boardman was a weaver with low intelligence who had just moved to Burnley from Blackburn. He was living at a common lodging house owned by Mrs. Duckworth at 8 Mitre Street, not far from where he worked at Crook Brother Mill on Trafalgar Street. Boardman seemed to adjust well to his new life. But soon, with each paycheck, he spiraled into heavy drinking, which led him down a sinister path. Inebriated whispers around town suggested that a local banker, Mr. Holgate, was buried with his wealth at Holy Trinity. An ordinary man would dismiss this as mere speculation, but not Boardman. He began hatching a heinous plan. November 9, 1889, Boardman left his lodging, making cryptic comments to Mrs. Duckworth and another woman lodger. Over the following days, he continued to drink heavily and act suspiciously. On November 12, he acquired a pick from a labourer named Leonard Trelfall, under the pretense of needing to clear a drain. That same night, Boardman committed his ghastly crime. He broke into the churchyard and desecrated a tomb. But not Mr. Holgate's as he intended. Instead, he violated a grave that had been undisturbed since 1868. The following morning, the sexton, James Rigby, discovered the shocking scene. The police were informed, and soon, the area was swarming with horrified spectators. When the crowd became too large, the graveyard was locked. Months later, Boardman, thinking he had escaped justice, was tracked down and arrested by the Burnley police. On May 21, 1890, he was sentenced to 6 months in prison for his extraordinary and abominable crime. Did Boardman believe that corpses were buried with their riches, or was it the rambling thought of a drunken man? Was this his first crime, or had he committed similar acts before? We might never know. What we do know is that his actions left an indelible scar on Burnley's history, chilling tale that continues to echo in the halls of the former Holy Trinity Church.